We're back for another episode of Quarantine Chronicles, brought to you by Stoned Appetit podcast. It's me, Kip. Chris is still working the day gig, so I will be joined today by Mario Vega, chef and proprietor from the Lakehouse down in Littleton. So for our suburban fans, this is a restaurant you'll definitely need to hit up. And before we get started, don't forget we're presented, as always, by Live Nation Colorado. Obviously, there's no concerts going on right now, so check the website for information for reschedules and ticket refunds. But also, when you swing over to livenation.com, they're doing a concert series. It's called the Live From Home, where you can pick concerts of your favorite bands that are going on and stream them straight to your television and speakers. So get your wine ready, get your bowl ready, and then tune on some tunes. But before you do that, listen to this 30-minute episode. It's a great insight into how starting a restaurant in Denver in the midst of this pandemic has taken its toll on restaurateurs. And so we're excited to have Mario on, and we're hopeful that we can help push some business. So if you like hearty fried chicken, dank-ass eats, this is going to be an episode you'll love. But Mario, we appreciate you joining us. And without further ado, Zane, hit that music.
The suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians, and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
It's one of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
I got weed pots.
Oh, there you are. Hey, what's up?
There's me. Hey,
Hey,
lighten up the eyes a bit.
there you go.
I can't see you for some reason. It's weird.
Can you? Mine's
Oh,
not.
there you are.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't
Cool.
sure. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get this party started and we'll rock and roll. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Stoned Appetit Quarantine Chronicles, coming to you from the home office that is echoed in my bedroom. I'm sitting down with Chef Mario Vega of Lakehouse Kitchen and Tavern. For those that may remember, Chef Mario joined us about almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So we're circling back to check in with them. Obviously, with the crazy times, we want to try to help support all of our friends in our local industry. So we're here to kind of learn a little bit about how they've been making the pivot over at Lakehouse. And then obviously talk about how life in the burbs is, because I hadn't seen you in a little while. Chef, thanks for joining me. How are you today?
Great. Thank you. Thanks for doing this. It's awesome.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time away from the kitchen to join me. So how you been? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Been good, you know. Sold the Ocean Club, so to speak, or at least that location, and opened up this new one in January. And then, a couple months in, we're in the midst of the coronavirus. Everyone else is.
Dude, it's been a tumultuous couple of months. I mean, or a couple of weeks for me. And then obviously, there's always the lumps and bruises of, starting the restaurant up and things of that nature. And then you get hit by this wallop that nobody can fucking predict. And you're just like, God damn it. You can't, it's like, shit, I was just about to start, on a good foot. And here we are. The earth is knocking us off. But so, yeah, tell us a little bit about the Lake House down in Littleton.
Yeah, in Littleton, we're here on. I'm actually looking out the window right now at Johnson Reservoir, which is in Clement Park, right near Columbine High School. So we're right on West Bowles, near Wadsworth, near that corner.
I know exactly where you are. I used to have a route that took me down that way, and there's a medical plaza not too far up the road from you. Yeah, so I know exactly where you are. You're down near kind of Carroll, but this is our episode for our friends in the burbs. So for
There you go.
the parents that are at home with the family and the kids are driving them fucking crazy, if you want to just get a release or maybe not cook tonight, Chef Mario is about to take us a little adventure through not only through the menu, because I want to know, is it the same menu? Are we doing specifically fish and seafood? Or I see we have some pretty wholesome, hearty dishes also.
Yeah. No, not necessarily. So, it's funny, like about last December, December of, 18, this location became available, or I learned about it being available. So I have a close family and friends. They've known me since I was in high school. who own the La Peep restaurants. So they own the one across the street here. And I sent it over to them because they've been across the street for over 20 years, I think closer to 30. And they were like, oh, man, it's such a great location. Remember when it was hops, remember this and that. And so, we just started talking about it, and we thought, hey, what a great spot. Like, we've always wanted to do a restaurant together. So we created a partnership and started this off. And then, just kind of working through the logistics, Mario's Ocean Club was really like a labor of love, and, it was awesome, but it doesn't really function if I'm not there. So it was like, well, maybe I need to let go of that and do this, So this is definitely a bigger spot, which is great. Also an opportunity to work with somebody that I wanted to work with for, since I was a teenager, which was a long time ago.
No one can see you. You don't have to tell people that.
Right,
you look sprightly and all of 28.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So then we got to talking. We're like, well, it's on a lake. It was Lucha Cantina, so it's Mexican. We don't necessarily want to go down that road again. We really want to do something different. So the community in the neighborhood is like, all right, it's like a different spot completely. So we just started talking about lake houses, and I used to vacation in Tahoe and Shasta growing up as a kid back in California. They vacationed at like Lake Okoboji, and they grew up in Chicago, and so Lake Michigan and all that stuff. And we thought, lake house would be great. Let's do like a Midwestern take on a lake house, really change the decor, and then gear the menu in that direction. So we went towards what they call in the Midwest roasted chicken, which is really a brand name. So it's pressure fried chicken. So it's like the best fried chicken you can get. So we do our wings and our chicken out of there. It's awesome. It's like amazing. It looks like this like space capsule type thing that seals over a fryer, and then you fry it under pressure, which just makes like crispy skin, juicy chicken. It's the best I've ever had. And I'm not just saying that about us. I'm saying when I've had roasted chicken, it's the best I've ever had. Like, that's the way to do it.
Midwesterners, the Southerners have got the fried chicken down pretty well. But those Midwesterners, there's some hearty fucking food in there. So it's not like they don't know what they're doing. Iowa football is good for a reason. It's a bunch of corn-fed.
There you go. Exactly. So we had some fun with that. And we thought, okay, a little seafood from my background. Let's do lake caught fish. We do walleye most of the time whenever we can get our hands on it. The only time it's not available is when the lakes are freezing over and there's a little bit of a gap there for a while. But sometimes that happens, week to week or whatever. But for the most part, we can get walleye in. People love that. You don't see walleye unless you're in the Midwest. And we just really focus the menu on that sort of thing. We do wings, which are awesome. We do this Bloody Mary sauce on our wings, which is Mary's Morning Fixer, which is this like Colorado-based Bloody Mary mix. And you reduce it, toss the wings in it, and it's like a little spicy, a little heat, but not too much. It's a fun menu item. And, we do some green chili and green chili tacos and things like that, and a bunch of fun stuff as well. But really focusing on that Midwestern fare.
Yeah. So, obviously, we're just now kind of getting the word out in the last couple of months and what the new menu and the new concept that's taken home to the building. So what have we been doing recently to have – obviously, everyone's having to combat this, pivot or whatever the term we're going to use. It seems to be pivot's phrase. What have y'all been doing to kind of help combat
Yeah, it's funny. We always thought fried chicken would be a great takeout option. We actually have a takeout window and a little side entrance that we were going to use for that. But we wanted to focus on, operating within the restaurant, really getting that down first, do that for 2-3 months, and then start to see what we can do takeout-wise. And, it's kind of escalated our timeline. It's the only way we can operate right now. And rightfully so. I think the governor and most of the country is in agreement. What we got to do is shelter in place, as they say, and focus on carry out and curbside pickup. We're really trying to promote that. We have online payment that people can order online, pay online. They come in, call us. We just take the food out. There's no exchanging of payment either, and they just take off. And that seems to be the safest way to go about it. But we're doing, Grubhub and DoorDash and all that stuff as well.
Yeah, so y'all are in the Littleton area. So for those that are curious, you just kind of sold this fried chicken. And as a Southerner, I mentioned that we had good fried chicken, but we also have lackluster government. That is, you mentioned that most our folks are trying to do their best. And so I feel like that was a slight shot across the bow, but I'll take it because it's a fair shot. But
I haven't really seen the heat map on it. I just kind of know there's a little,
It's best to not be in the news right now. And sadly enough, those states don't seem to have that luxury. But yeah, so you mentioned Postmates and was it Grubhub?
Yeah, Grubhub and DoorDash and Uber Eats right now. We're trying to get up with Postmates. We're just trying to be available for everything.
Perfect. And then they'll obviously check on one of the apps. Obviously, for most of our listeners, now we're about 3 weeks in, so you should have an account for all of these. I mean, I missed the boat by not putting a referral link out there. Like, use our referral code, get Kip $10. But okay, so you mentioned the dank hot wings. I was actually filming when you said that, so that one's going to go up on the internet. But what are some other fan favorites that have gone out the door well, in addition to the fried chicken? So if it is family night, what should we be ordering?
Yeah, so we do prime rib on the weekends. We're not currently doing that for curbside pickup, but we're looking at something for Easter and like special occasions so people can pre-order. We got a great rotisserie back there, so we're doing the whole fried chicken, not fried chickens, but we also do awesome rotisserie chicken, which is really good. And then the lake catch caught fish, the walleye. We pan sear that as well. We do like a Midwestern fish fry, which is kind of like a fish and chips, a little less battered though, just a little breaded with Iowa flour. But the just the pan roasted fish is great as well. Try to focus on that. And then, from my Mario's Ocean Club days, the clam chowder poutine was always a hit. So came up with a poutine here where we do this vegetarian green chili over our waffle fries. And then we do our cheese curds, which is really popular in the Midwest. And we fry those up and put those on there as well. So it's pretty
on top of the fries?
On top of the fries and green chili and a little sour cream just to top it off a little bit.
Yeah, to just hammer home the next Netflix and nap, not Netflix.
Well, the fried cheese curds are probably like the favorite appetizer, just with a little ranch. It's like so simple, but people just love them.
That was going to be my question obviously it's a regional difference, but I like my cheese sticks and my cheese curds. I like mine with marinara.
Okay. You got marinara in house. We can do that.
Yeah. Okay. See, yeah. So there are a variety there. Okay. I like it. You sold me on it. It sounds like if we were allowed to have sports, that would be a great fucking thing to have. Y'all going to kill it in football season with the Packers and the Midwest fams. I mean,
I think so.
You'll do very well. All right. So Mario, I have a couple more questions for you while I got you here today. We've talked a little of the restaurant. We're going to talk a little bit about you're in the restaurant. What are the hours like for everybody if they want to?
So right now we're doing 12 to 7 for the curbside pickup. Our hours were 11 to 9 and 11 to 10 on the weekends, but 12 to 7 until we're back open fully.
All right, sounds good. And then my second question, let's say that you have a little free time. God forbid you get home and you get to put your feet up for just a minute. Have you caught anything? What are you binge watching on the television? How are you passing your time?
That's a good question. So, watching a lot of Chappelle Show reruns.
Hell yes.
Yeah, out there at Comedy Central. And I love Dave Chappelle, so that's been pretty awesome. Tiger King's a big talk. I haven't seen that yet. So
yeah, you got to catch that
next.
I mean, we were just taking shots. It's got a little Midwest in it, and it's got a little Southern flair. So tell your business partner as well. He may take it's Oklahoma, I think, is where part of it's from, and then some of it's down the South. It's hilarious. Okay, Dave Chappelle, easily that was like, I don't even know if it was before his own time because he kind of revolutionized like a whole scene with that show. Give me 3 of your favorite skits from the team.
Oh man.
I know I put you on the spot. Sorry.
Prince playing basketball skit has got to be. I mean, it's just like amazing.
I ain't on your team. He kept slapping my ass.
It's like game blouses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like awesome. He does the one where I'm a big Tupac fan being from California. So he does the one where the guy's dancing with his girlfriend and Tupac's like, his lyrics are like applying to like what's going to happen to him. And he's like, his lyrics are so prolific. He can, his songs are relevant to like what's going on in the moment or whatever. It's pretty funny. And then, this is probably an unpopular thing to say, but, there's just something so ironic and so like funny about his, he's got the old black man who's a member of the KKK. He's blind. He doesn't know.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Clayton Bigsby or whatever it was.
Yeah. It's like what? I mean, Chappelle's so smart and funny all at the same time.
Dude, it was so good. That show was, and yeah, the Charlie Murphy scenes were great. I loved those. God, and I saw Charlie Murphy do a stand-up here, rest in peace, a couple of years ago at the Comedy Works downtown, and he was he was just hysterical, and he would tell stories about Chappelle. And he's like, this guy really is like a genius. He's like, just on the fly, he would just belittle someone and then build them up right there in front of you, and then just break them right back down again.